Binance Coin's recent rebound above $700. It's culminating in a $765 intraday high on July 18th after a 6% one-day gain. Offers a glimmer of renewed strength following Q2's steep downturn. Yet when viewed against the broader altcoin landscape where Ethereum, Solana, and Polygon have each delivered over 20%. Returns in July, BNB's 10% month-to-date increase looks modest. Some $140 billion in fresh altcoin capital has swirled into the market, lifting total altcoin capitalization to $1.47 trillion. But BNB captured only $4 billion of that inflow, marking the smallest share among the top 5 cryptocurrencies. Consequently, BNB's market dominance has slid from 3.4% in mid-March to just 2.6% today. Underscoring that while BNB is on the rise, it risks being outpaced by faster-growing ecosystems. The somewhat tepid performance raises the question, can BNB sustain and build on this recovery, or will it be left trailing its altcoin peers? On the bullish side, BNB has delivered several noteworthy ecosystem and technical improvements that could bolster its medium-term prospects. The Maxwell upgrade on BNB Smart Chain has halved block times to just 0.75 seconds and doubled throughput, addressing past performance bottlenecks and making the network more attractive to DeFi and real-world asset developers craving high-speed, lo-fi environments. Faster finality and higher transaction capacity not only enhance user experience, but also encourage deeper liquidity and novel applications. From yield-generating protocols to tokenized securities, Binance are already responding. The Zero Fee Carnival promotion extended through July without USDT or USD transfer fees has driven spikes in on-chain activity, lowered user costs, and reinforced community goodwill. Such incentives can catalyze adoption surges that manifest in sustained fee revenue and hedge token burns. On that note, BNB's most recent token burn, the 30-second quarterly event, destroyed 1.59 million BNB worth over $1 million. Further, tightening supply and underscoring Binance's burn and earn policy. While the burn scale pales relative to BNB's 165 million circulating supply, the mechanism delivers a predictable deflationary impulse that can incrementally support price over time, especially if demand holds or expands. Meanwhile, the advent of XStock's tokenized equities on BNB Chain, launched in partnership with Kraken and backed finance signals, a strategic push by Binance to bridge traditional finance and crypto. Through XStock's fractional shares of public companies trade on-chain, opening new corridors for institutional flows and retail diversification. Windtree Therapeutics' $200 million BNB fund announcement, complete with plans for a public listing, further cements hopes that BNB may soon anchor regulated financial vehicles on Wall Street. If BNB evolves beyond an exchange token into a multi-purpose asset powering tokenized stocks, stablecoins, and institutional collateral, its utility-based valuation could justify premiums relative to comparably sized altcoins. Yet these promising developments are counterbalanced by evolving market dynamics and investor behavior that pose real risks. The decline in the number of addresses holding over 10,000 BNB, now at a 3-month low, suggests large holders are trimming or rotating into higher momentum tokens. When whales exit, they leave behind selling pressure and reduced conviction at critical price levels. BNB's relative underperformance could be prompting these entities to redeploy capital into Ethereum or Solana, networks enjoying faster application growth and deeper DeFi TVL gains. Solana's whale cohorts, by contrast, continue expanding in both address count and holdings, reflecting stronger faith in its ecosystem trajectory. If BNB fails to arrest this outflow, its price is vulnerable to retests of support zones, potentially undermining both momentum and morale. On a technical front, BNB is now trading around $737.70, having cleared key moving averages and flashing a bullish, MACD crossover. But its RSI sits at 79.39, indicating overbought conditions that often precede pause or correction phases. The next support levels at $643.71 and $601.25 align with prior resistance zones and would be logical pullback targets if BNB retraces. Meanwhile, the 52-week high at $749.72 looms as near-term resistance. Failure to retake and hold above that level could stifle enthusiasm and trigger profit taking by traders who view $700 to $750 as a tactical sell zone. In this environment, BNB must show follow-through on breakouts and absorb short-term profit-taking without losing key support levels. It's a delicate balancing act that demands consistent volume confirmation and broader market TAILW. Macro uncertainties compound these challenges. A sudden hawkish pivot by the Federal Reserve. Unexpected regulatory actions against Binance or BNB, or systemic banking stress could reverse risk asset flows overnight, dragging BNB down alongside other cryptos. Binance's global regulatory standing remains in flux. And adverse developments, be it an SEC lawsuit or tighter AML requirements, could spook whales and stifle institutional collaborations. The tokenized stock initiative may face compliance headwinds as securities law nuances come into focus. Any misstep in this arena could delay or derail XStock's wider rollout, undermining a key non-trade use case. Longer term, BNB's valuation thesis rests on its role in the broader Binance ecosystem, trading fee discounts, staking rewards, governance rights, and DeFi utility on BNB Smart Chain. But as multi-chain architectures and cross-chain bridges proliferate, the marginal value of a single exchange's native token may diminish unless Binance continues innovating user incentives and building a moat of ecosystem services. Competing chains, from Avalanche to Near, are also racing to attract dApp developers with their own performance upgrades and token incentives. BNB must retain or grow its share of developer mindshare to avoid becoming a niche or second-tier network. That said, BNB's path is not preordained. If Maxwell and subsequent optimizations sustain lower fees and faster transactions, especially during DeFi rallies or NFT drops, BSC could reclaim volume leadership and reassert BNB's utility premium. Continued zero-fee promotions, strategic burns, and the maturation of tokenized equities could coax institutions from proof of concept to production use. If those initiatives coincide with renewed retail interest, BNB could buck the broader trend and outpace even its faster-moving peers. For traders, the key is disciplined risk management, scaling into positions only after clear retests of the $700 level, setting stops just below $650, and measuring entries against both on-chain metrics and cross-asset correlations. Hedging through options, buying out of the money puts, or constructing call spreads near $800 strike scan offer asymmetric payoffs while shielding against downside surprises. Meanwhile, portfolio allocations should reflect BNB's blend of utility token and speculative instrument, not too large to imperil capital in a sector rotation, yet sufficient to capitalize on potential breakthroughs. In the final analysis, Binance Coin's return above $700 represents a notable recovery from prior lows and reflects genuine ecosystem advances. Yet in a market where altcoins are jockeying for leadership, each boasting technological upgrades, expanding developer communities, and fresh yield products, BNB must continually reinforce its value proposition. Only by sustaining performance gains, deepening on-chain engagement, and preventing large holder exodus can be NB hope, not merely to break through the gate, but to lead the pack among major altcoins. Until then, bears and bulls alike will be watching whale addresses, TVL figures, token burn schedules, and regulatory headlines to gauge weather. BNB's current rally is the start of a sustained upward trajectory, or simply a milder rebound before the next phase of rotation. Crypto, outpacing fast-moving rivals, is as challenging as achieving any milestone. BNB's challenge now is to prove it can match or exceed the velocity set by its peers.